Hey baby cakes, welcome back to another video. My name is Siwe and if you're new here, do the right thing and join the family because girl, you're going to love it here. I promise you. And for those of you guys that are returning, welcome back. So in today's video, I've got a guest, a beautiful guest. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Colleen and Siwe and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me here because I'm quite a regular and I'm excited about today's video.
Yeah, I'm also excited. So in today's video, we are playing a game called Ask a Question. Basically, we're going to be asking each other questions and then we will be responding to the question. And yeah, and hopefully you guys kind of get a gist of our characters and just like get to understand and get to know us better. So yeah.
I'm going to start by asking Usamge a question. And the question is, how has life changed from how it was a few years back, and what has changed about your character?
A lot, honestly, because back in the days, I remember like I was more closed off in the sense of I didn't want to open my character to many people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I was an introvert, but
you kind of were though, low-key.
But also I was very bubbly, still welcoming, and but I just had abantu abathile that I would open myself to. So it was basically Siwe and I. I only had like 3 people that really knew me.
And also, even with us, sorry to cut you in that, but just to add on what you're saying, even with us though, you weren't very like open about the things that you were going through. We knew you and we used to play together and all of those things, but there were certain things that you just didn't open up about.
Yeah, actually.
Up until a certain stage of life where you decided to like just become open.
And yeah, that was actually me. That was like, I was such a closed book, but also open. You would swear that you know me, but you don't know me. Like you basically, but still I think Nangoku, low key, because I do know to share. I share, but I don't overshare.
Yes.
That's
a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing because at the end of the day, you need to have boundaries. You know?
And also
and there's certain things that you would like to share and also still have certain things that you want to keep to yourself. So there's nothing wrong with having that kind of mindset.
So but also back then, I kind of let a lot of things slide. Like I was very nice, guys. I'm still nice now, but like back then I was like very nice. I was not confrontational. Like you could do something and I'm just like, you know what, deuces, and I need to go away.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a disservice to yourself to not be like confrontational and speak out about things
certain things that are not
okay with you, that things that you are not settled with, you know.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that trait of like, hey man, I was not happy about A, B, and C. Let's solve it. Let's talk about it, you know, as opposed to just bottling things up and reaching a point where you're just like tapping out of whatever relationship it is
without even having to communicate your feelings. And so that's how I was. But now if you bother me, like let's say you hurt me in any way or form and there's something that you did that really doesn't sit well with me, child, rest assured you will know about it. It might not be a situation where I'm impulsively saying it like right now. Let's say you do something to me now and it really brushed me the wrong way. I won't tell you now, but like I will have I will have some time with myself and like kind of reflect about, okay, what did I say, what did she say, and like think the whole situation through, and then I will let you know about, listen man, you did something that really made me uncomfortable. And yeah man, that's basically how I've kind of evolved.
Yeah, definitely evolved.
Yeah. So, and you? Girl, you can't be out here. You can't be out here.
I was going to move on to the next question.
You cannot move. But with you?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was an introvert. I also had like things that I didn't really share, and I was not very open, like just to anyone, including my parents. I wouldn't share. You know, there was a point in my life where I was bullied, but my parents never even knew about it.
I didn't even know about that.
Dude, and we were so close. I even started opening up like after everything happened, like years after. And I don't know, man, I think as a child, I had a fear of being invalidated or made to feel like what I'm saying is not valid or I'm overreacting. So that's why I let a lot of things slide. Like just like you, I kind of relate to what you said. It's not healthy to have that, because like the person who's doing whatever it is that they're doing, they don't really know. I mean, they know what they're doing is wrong, but then they don't know how you feel about it, because you're walking away without addressing it. It may happen again, you know. It increases the chances of it continuing, and they don't really know how you feel about it because you're not raising it. So I've kind of stopped doing that. I now raise things. Child, I will voice it out. If I'm not happy with something, I'll voice it out. So
because that's quitting
truly. So now I've grown to understand that, you know what, you can't really completely avoid conflict. So the reason why I was like that, where I would just like walk away, is because I was avoiding conflict. But then it's a human thing. Like, people are going to fight. We're not always going to get along. So I've kind of grown to understand that, and also just applied it in my life in the sense that I speak out now. So and question number 2, what have we learned about boundaries in general? This includes like boundaries with your family, boundaries with your friends, and boundaries with your romantic partner.
Okay, so goddamn. Anyways, that was my phone. But for me, if there's one thing I know how to set, is boundaries. Like, I'll say this in a family point of view. First, not each and everyone in my family has to know what I'm doing.
They don't have to know
how I'm doing
what you're doing,
what I'm currently doing. I remember, well, it still happens now. Eastern Cape, of
course, does. We all have that.
That was about that time the person doesn't even contribute to grocery, never contributed in anything. They
don't know if you're okay, mental health wise.
But Lomtulona wants to know, but like, what are you doing, homie? No, we're not cool like that.
We're not close like that. You don't know me like that.
I've always, I think I've just, it's something that I've always done. It's my mom, my dad, may his soul rest in peace, my sister, my brother. That's it. Like, those are people
your
that
immediate
will know
family,
what is happening in my life. But for a cousin that is like far, or
a neighbor,
or even a neighbor who's just gonna be like, what are you gonna do? So it's things like that, and I know how to remove myself from those conversations. Really,
you just have boundaries.
I really have boundaries.
You don't even have to have an explanation for it.
You just don't have to know what I'm doing. So that's like family wise, but also just, I do set boundaries, relationship, friendships. Like as my partner, you know that there are certain things that you just can't do, Sam. And as my friend, you just know. But I think with friends, I've always been like kind of lenient with your boundaries. Like, I kind of bend rules that I've bent my own rules, and I hate that about myself, because you know. And also, if you let certain things slide, I can do it again because she's still around. But with relationships,
and they're not raising it. Like, if you're not raising the fact that something makes you uncomfortable, the person will continue. They will think it's okay. So we need to do away with not. And I feel like just as women in general, we do kind of bend the rules when it comes to our friends. Just like any relationship, even with men. Even the relationships that we have with men.
I don't know, that's a shame. I think I've been so hard with just my romantic relationships, because there are certain things that I really cannot take. Like, I can't take certain things. Like, I can't take disrespect. Like,
of course.
Especially disrespect that is in public. Let's say
humiliation in public.
You know.
Oh no.
Let's say my partner shouts at me, that's a deal breaker. I'm done, because not only but like, and I don't care about but like,
And also, now personally, I'm a person, I don't shout, like I don't raise my voice at like
exactly
at anyone, not just my romantic partner, but I don't raise my voice. So what makes you think that you can do it? Like why? And then on top of that, you do it in public. I'm gone. The moment you raise your voice at me, I'm gone. I am gone.
So yeah, if there's one thing I'm strict now is a romantic relationship, because also if you have voice tomorrow, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm like I can't deal with violence in any sort of way, and just verbal abuse is a thing.
Yeah, it's also a thing, and we tend to overlook it just because it's not physical.
Yeah, because today can be verbal, tomorrow enjoy.
Definitely.
So yeah. And you, girl, Nalendo, this girl.
I mean, I don't have like much to say about boundaries. I think I've addressed this in my podcast. I'm not really sure. But then, what do I have to say about boundaries? I mean, I used to have no boundaries. I used to be the kind of person who says yes to everything when I was growing up. But I feel like as young women, especially black women, we're taught to, it's not really taught, but like we're conditioned to just, be the ones who just stick through everything, like stick by the people that we love, no matter what they do to us, no matter what they say to us, no matter how much they hurt us. We just stick beside them and we just say yes to everything. Not necessarily say yes to everything, but like just be the ones, even the term imbokodo. Imbokodo lilitye, guys. We are human beings. But anyway, that's a chat for another day. But like I think I used to be that person who would stick through people and not really address how I feel about certain things because I was afraid that like, they would see me as someone who's being otherwise or but now I've grown to understand that, it's okay. Like just because I'm setting boundaries doesn't necessarily mean that I don't love you. Doesn't necessarily mean that I don't care about you, but I'm just taking care of myself first. Because what's the point of making sure that everyone else around you is okay, but now what about you? So I've learned that, and you lose relationships because of setting boundaries.
Okay,
and people think that you're being otherwise when you're not.
And it's okay. It's okay to lose someone because they decided, okay, I lay boundary Siwe, I'm gonna overstep. It's okay to lose that person because already we are disrespect. Like I got very wish. And because no man.
And also, the funny thing about people like Abba who don't understand boundaries, you turn out to be the bad guy. They will make it seem like you are the bad guy, no matter how much you set boundaries. Like literally, I'm still setting boundaries to this day, but those people don't get tired. Like they will continue to. They do not get tired. They will continue to ask me things that I can't answer or things that I don't want to address with them. They will continue to ask me to do things for them that are beyond my means, like things like that. And andipheli mandla njengoba nabo bengapheli mandla nami andipheli mandla. I will not end up saying yes just because you're continuously asking me to do something or you continuously asking me to tell you about my business. I will not stop. No. The third one is compare your younger self when you were in your early 20s. I'm not going to reveal your age.
I am 36, child. 36. No,
so basically you have to compare
38.
yourself.
I literally just...
compare your younger self to the current you and what life has taught you. More especially about yourself and just like your personal journey.
Dang. If I would compare myself to my younger self and what I've learned from that, is that
what life has taught you?
Okay. Honestly, life has taught me to be kind. Like, be kind. Honestly, you don't know what people are going through out there. The least you can do is to be kind. Just share kindness. It goes back to the whole thing. I don't think I was having the conversation with you. It was one of my friends where like I don't understand how people can just escalate kanje. And like what I'm trying to say is I don't understand how people can just be mean. I don't understand how people just get out of the way to make another person take okanye another person feel disrespected.
Inferior.
Okay, yeah, we're in this. So yeah, if there's one thing I've learned from myself and like from the experiences that I have had throughout these 38 years of me living on this earth. I'm kidding, guys, I'm not 38. But yeah, I've learned to be really kind and just like share love, spread love. And I know that not everyone is going to be taking that well or kind of reciprocating that. But yeah, man, share love where you can, be kind where you can. And another thing that I can say I've learned, I really don't have to be gracious. I really don't have to be extending grace to someone that is
not
deserving of my grace. I can be as patient to an extent.
Yeah.
There is a point where you have to draw the line in the amount of grace you show to someone, the amount of love you show someone, okay, the amount of kindness you show. But if someone is honestly really a bad person and all they're trying to do is make you tick, can you leave that space? Because why are you always so triggered? Why are you always so willing to argue? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I would say for me, I think, you know, when you are in your early 20s, or just like when you're still growing up and your frontal lobe has not developed, there are certain things that you do and there are certain mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
It's important to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And also just not setting a time frame. Like, you know, as a child, you think that, okay, at a certain age, I'll be married. You know, at a certain age, I'll have kids. At a certain age, I'll have success. At a certain age, I'll have a car, I'll have a house, I'll have all these things. Guys, they're like life, you forget about the fact that there are things that happen along the way before you actually get to a point where you accomplish all of these things.
Yeah.
And there are certain hardships that you go through. There are certain traumas that you go through. So those things can get in the way of you actually getting to that point in your life, you know. So you need to give yourself grace. You need to be patient with yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. Do not compare yourself to others. Our journeys are different.
Exactly.
We're not heading to the same destination. We have different journeys. We have different priorities. We have different responsibilities. So don't do yourself the disservice of comparing your journey to someone else's journey, because you don't know what that person has had to go through to get all of those things.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah, that for me, because I think now that I'm like turning 26, I'm 25 now, turning 26. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, I actually, all the things that I thought I would have by now, I don't have. But let me not be too hard on myself. Let me give myself some grace, because there are certain things that I've managed to accomplish, and there are certain things that I've managed to acquire. And on top of that, the mindset that I have now is the most rewarding thing, you know, I could have had or could have gained from all of my experiences. So yeah, for me, it's just giving yourself grace. And also touching on what Usamke just said, like being kind, guys, like it literally costs $0, $0. It costs nothing, you know. You need to be empathetic towards others and just give people grace. So yeah. Sounds like a lot, mate.
Oh
Sounds
my God,
like a lot, mate.
Oh, we so deep. But yeah.
And then the other question is, how do you handle disappointment from people that you love and value?
Yo, actually,
sounds like you have a lot to say.
First things first, for us to actually come up with these questions, listen, are we okay? Do we need therapy?
Ciao.
We don't. But yeah, damn, Siwe, I've got so much to say. I've got so much. Do you want to go first? Please.
I think for me, how I handle disappointment. First, I have to understand the fact that we're all human. We all make mistakes, but there are certain things that are just non-negotiable. You know, there are certain things that you just don't let slide. For me, betrayal of trust, more especially, those are things that I cannot handle. I mean, I'll understand that, okay, you are human, you made a human error, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to now deal with you. Just because I understand that I'm giving you the grace that, okay, you made a human error and whatnot. But sometimes, guys, as understanding, I'm just that kind of person. Like, there's certain things that I just don't want to understand, and betrayal of trust is just one of them. If you betray me and my trust, things will never be the same again. So I'd rather just remove myself from your life, and just remove myself from the equation and continue with my life. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that I hate you. It just means that you can continue being yourself, but I don't have to deal with it.
Be part of it.
I don't have to be a part of it. I'll remove myself and just wish you well, want you to flourish and, become the best version of yourself, but without me in the picture. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Without me in the picture. So that for me, that is how I deal with disappointment. I mean, there are certain things, as I said, there are certain things that you can understand, but like for me, just betrayal of trust. Yes. There's no way that we can repair whatever relationship that we had, whether it was platonic or romantic or whatever the case may be. There's no way that we can move past you betraying my trust.
I'm not even gonna speak about romantic relationship, because honestly, I do extend grace in a romantic relationship, but honestly, I don't, because the way I feel like, okay, this is a deal breaker. So I'm not even gonna touch on it, but I'm gonna touch on friendship, because there's something about me. I love my friends.
You do.
I love my friends, and the thing about me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I'm not gonna say it's not a bad thing and it's not a good thing, but it's just how I am. Like,
it's
guys,
definitely not a bad thing at all.
And my thing is, when I deal with disappointment in friendship, or when there is where trust was broken, let me tell you something. I will forgive you. I will forgive you, because if there is something that I am learning to do now, that I didn't do back in the years when I was 21. Okay, I'm 29 now, but back when I was 21, I would cut you off because I don't want to have to even communicate or have a conversation about this. I would always choose the easy way out, which is cutting someone out of my life. But now I have been blessed to have friends that are so loving, sisterhood that is, I don't know how to put it, man, but if there's one thing about my friends, I've seen their hearts, and I think that's why it's so easy for me to forgive when an element of trust has been broken. But also keep in mind that you won't get the same version of me that you had. So now that's where the twist is with me. I'm not gonna cut you out, but honestly, you won't get the same Sam that you know.
You'll get the same treatment. I understand what you mean. You'll get the same treatment, but it's just that I was and
for me, it takes a while for me to cut someone off. I mean, cut them off of my life and just nah. It takes a while. So you will do the first mistake, and I'm okay, this is a red flag. This is such a red flag. But you know what? This is the first time this person has
done something
like this. I will definitely pull back, but you will not get the same version of me. And that's the reality of it. You just have to live with it. And given a situation where you do the same thing, or break trust again, then we out, man.
It's over.
That's when you say
why?
No more. I
That's
don't
why
even say
you
Bible.
don't know rappelling.
That's it. But yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I've stepped out of the whole thing of cut people off, break communication because honestly, I hurt more.
Yeah,
Like I really
get
hurt.
you. I get you. Especially if you are invested in a relationship.
Like, can we please talk about it
Yeah.
to a point where I'm like, you know what? Now I can step away. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. The next question is, what are red flags in friendships that you don't ignore? I think we've had this conversation on the episode that we did on my podcast.
Guys, go check her podcasts. The girls that know. I love that podcast.
The girls that know.
Let me tell you, you guys need to check it out.
Yeah, it's available on all streaming platforms
Mm-hmm.
like your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Google Podcasts, everything, everywhere.
Okay.
Anyway, red flags that you can't ignore. Let's hope nothing has changed from the last time.
Nothing has changed, honestly. I think my biggest red flag is, I'm trying to put it in a...
I remember you said that it's someone that you
someone
can't
that really
trust.
I can't trust, and also someone that is a friend that doesn't believe in your dreams. I think for me,
I remember.
that's the biggest red flag. Like honestly, and I have no reason to be around you if you don't believe that what I touch will come to life and it will be fruitful. If you are coming to me and adding insecurities in something that I believe in, like, and my thing is, my dreams are so wild. My dreams are like crazy,
but they're all possible.
And they're all possible. So for a friend of mine who is close to me to say, no, actually, you are.
Can I also just say something? I think Lendu Tetaine, it also has, because as someone who grew up with you, I know that you had a lot of trauma with friends trying to like compare themselves with you and just competing with you.
Honestly,
so I feel like Lendu Tetayo stems from the fact that from that trauma, yoba, like you had people who didn't believe in you, who would say such things such as uyaboniswa, or you won't reach these goals that you have for yourself. So I understand why you'd say that, and I'm so glad you've gotten to a point where it's a red flag for you, because it is a red flag.
Like, it is a red flag. Like, and for me, for someone to say that, that means you don't believe in yourself. Now, you want
just projecting.
You want me to actually not believe in myself the way you don't believe in yourself. So
so they project.
I don't have time for abantu banjiana, and also a friend that is constantly like kind of trying to show you, but Konale flow unaya people why you do that? More than anything, you should be empowering your friends. Tell your friends they're gorgeous, because women are gorgeous. Like, why would you not the camera switching off, but anyways, but like, why would you want to put someone down and like add insecurities, like try to, I don't know, man.
Putting them down, making them feel inferior. Like it's only a projection of how they feel about
themselves. So I really don't have any business being around people that are like that. So for me, that is a big red flag. I cannot stomach that. You are out of my life. That's when I will definitely cut you out.
For me, I think someone who's constantly going through it. And hear me out, let me cook.
What do you mean?
Let me cook. Fair. But remember, as human beings, we feed off others' energy. So if you're always constantly coming to me with your problems, telling me about or telling me about how shaky your mental health is, and I get that, you know what, as people, we go through things, and in mental health state here to the things that we go through, and there are seasons that we go through in life is seasonal. So there are seasons where everything is great, and then there are seasons where you're just down bad. So I understand that, but a friend that is constantly going through it, like you don't have a chance to speak about your grievances and and like, I also feel like it ties into also having a low self-esteem. Like those things go hand in hand. Like, because when you are depressed, when you are in a depressed state, obviously you're not going to feel the best. Do you understand? You're not going to be your best self, and you're not going to be the best version of yourself. So now I have to deal with the fact that we are go, and on top of that you also have a low self-esteem. Like, for me, it's just very draining. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm perfect and I don't go through seasons where go walk on, but like, be happy about something, be grateful about something.
There has to be something
good going for you. Like, you can't be like, oh my gosh, my life is in shambles. It could be in shambles, but
there is something.
There is one thing that you should be grateful about. So for me, like, someone who's constantly going through it, I need to reassure them all the time that you are beautiful, you know, like, you're not ugly, your body is good. Like, I'm just like, yo, it's tiring.
I get you, but your sana.
That for me is a red flag. Like, my thing is, I also have bad days.
Fix something. I've got
that one. Fix it.
Guys, if there's one thing now, if I self-esteem, guys, you will be confident. In my present, also about confident now, you know. And I don't think, hey, but I get you. But I didn't get you because also this person is pulling you down, taking you
it's draining
into this.
And also remember, there are days where, remember I said that I'm not perfect. I also have bad days. And now I can't go to you with my grievances and my problems, because when you go walk, I can't mean Monday to Friday. I can't mean Monday to Sunday. So that's draining for me, and I feel like there was a phase where I attracted a lot of people like that, but then I was like, no, man, no. That's why I'm tired now. I'm tired. I'm tired. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. So yeah, I've gotten to that point where it's a major red flag for me. If you're constantly going through it. Like, I can't endure say, even when something good has happened to me, or something like I have something good to tell you about, so I feel guilty. I feel guilty about telling you about something good that happened to me, because I'm like, the energy that it's going to be met with, it's going to make me feel bad. So yeah.
Okay.
So
I get
constantly going through it for me is a major red flag.
I get you, and I think because I've never really had friends.
A friend like that.
No, like when you are happy. I don't. No, that's it. I know, like, no, I get it. I'm not bad, but like go.
Awesome. And then the next question would be, it's the second last one. What are your deal breakers?
Yeah.
But I feel like we covered this in the disappointment.
So also the red flag. Now, honestly, deal breaker, guys. Don't believe you or don't believe you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
that's a deal breaker. But also I think slimy, actually being slimy and talking about me behind my back, that for me is a deal breaker. Why am I like, I don't know, man. That's it. Like, I cannot stand like, do you have something to say? Can you please say it to me? And then time to know about a conversation about a friend with another friend when the friend is not in
present,
the room. Like, can we speak about this person when this person is around? And if ever you want clarity on certain things that this person is doing or whatever, why don't you ask them? Yeah, well, and dibani nuntu oya omnye umtu izithende. Aibo.
No,
Aibo.
is dead.
Aibo. Let's do better. So game, like, I think that is my major red flag. If
it is a red flag,
you know,
obviously
you do talk about me. Now can make topic, and I really don't have time for that. That's because of high school. You get what I'm saying?
For me, what is my deal breaker? There are a lot. I would say, like, just like betrayal of trust, I think, like I've covered this in the disappointment thing. Like the moment you betray my trust in any way, shape, or form, like the moment I feel betrayed, I am gone.
Out of here.
You will never hear from me again. I'm
Bye.
gone.
Bye.
So
girl bye.
Girl bye, boy bye. I'm gone. And also someone who isn't honest. Like I'm a very honest person. I will call a spade a spade.
And she will. Siwe will not sugarcoat anything, and she won't be harsh about it. I think what I like about you, you're not harsh about it.
I'm an empath. I have to empathize with
you. She will not be harsh about it, but more than anything, you will see the disappointment in her face if ever it's something that she should be disappointed in. And she will give you her most honest opinion and how she would actually go about dealing with the solution. But then at the end of the day, that's what I think.
So I think for me, dishonesty, like if you're not honest with me, I feel like you're taking me for a fool now. Like, why are you not honest? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
Tell me the proof.
So yeah, tell me the truth all the time, and we'll get along very well. And yeah, that's it. Like just being honest and or just being dishonest and what is the other one?
Girl.
Brain freeze. It was being so my deal breakers, being dishonest and betraying my trust.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Very last question. My brain is tired.
No,
my brain is tired. All these thoughts. All these thoughts.
Talking.
I'm literally just a girl. We're literally just girls. So, yeah. The last question is, how do you deal with someone who doesn't reciprocate?
Honestly. Do you want to start, please?
I mean, you know what? There are a lot of people who are very like, who feel like reciprocation, like, just wipe here.
Help me.
Yeah, just there.
Girl, get ready to put that. Because you're going to spread it. Oh my God.
That's how I was saying. But anyway, talking about someone who doesn't reciprocate. You said I should start. People feel very abantu bacinga ukureciprocate ukubala ne, and it's actually not ukubala. Awubali, because at the end of the day we're all human beings and we want to have things done for us as well. You can't be the one who's always giving and not receiving. It feels good to have someone doing something for you and someone thinking of you, someone being considerate of you and your feelings and whatnot. It doesn't necessarily mean that when you are doing things for people, you're expecting something in return. So that's where people kind of blur the lines. Because I remember having a conversation with someone about reciprocation. And they were like, but why are you doing things with the intention of receiving something in return? Then was it coming from the goodness of your heart to begin with? And I was like, no, it's not about that. I mean, I don't mind giving and I'm not expecting anything in return, but then it feels good to be on the receiving end for a change, you know, because as human beings we feed off interaction. So if ndimozo solo ke nikeza okoko ndimo solo ke nika ndifumana nini na
when you pour it out of your cup,
you can't pour from an empty cup, you know. You need someone who's going to fill your cup as well. So for me, that is definitely one of the things that I would say go to the previous question, which was what are your deal breakers? That is a deal breaker for me. If you do not reciprocate, that is a major red flag, and it is a deal breaker. Like I will walk out of your life.
I know I was good doing it from a good place,
and you were not expecting anything in return.
Yeah, but
you know that the favor is not returned.
We at all. It is like we at all. I don't know if it's a deal breaker for me, because honestly I did it because it's not like I was pushed or whatever. And Bali. I won't say it's a deal breaker, but I don't know what I'd say it is. But how do I deal with it? honestly, Mdase, I don't know.
You haven't gotten to a point where you've dealt with it.
I deal with it. I think I've never had. I've never been in a situation where I'm like, you know what, actually, Sam, you need to deal with this because it is a problem. But now it's more like I see it as. I don't even see it, honestly, does it? Until
but it is something that
I come
is
to a point
where
it's a red flag for sure. Until something triggered me where I'm like, actually, lomtu, this person,
I get you.
And then that's where I kind of step away in the sense of, I know not to ask certain things. I know not to do certain things as teen, but also it kind of tampers with your personality.
Yeah, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy because you want to live kabuhle nabantu and you want to be around people that you can rely on. So imagine now knowing that there are one or two people that you can't ask for anything. There are certain people that you can't tell anything. Certain people that you can't rely on, whereas bona mhlambe bapholile sebelibele nolibala, not that balibele but umuntu seyidlulile nodlula klanto, whereas when you never moved on but seyidlulile yena and uzixelele bana when I need a favor I will ask usamke for a favor, when I need this I will ask usamke.
I never looked at it.
So yeah,
actually that was the last question, and yeah guys, this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you guys subscribe to the channel, comment on whatever question that you feel resonates with you, and yeah, otherwise
see you
it was
next
nice
time.
having you, girl.
See you next time.
Oh my god,
Can't
she's
wait
gonna
to
be
back.
a regular here because I like her. I'm pretty sure you guys like her too. Yeah, bye baby cake. Subscribe, like, and comment.
No bars.
No bars.